Hi everyone, this is once again your instructor, Marilyn Picol. So for today's lecture video, I'll be discussing about chemical quantities in reaction. So this is for chemistry lecture week number 13 to 14. So before we start, let's have our learning objectives for this video. So after the video, students must be able to determine the total mass of reactants and the total mass of products in a balanced chemical equation, calculate the number of moles of another substance in a reaction, determine the mass of reactants in a chemical reaction, and calculate the amount of product formed from the limiting reagent, and determine the percent yield of a chemical reaction. So medyo marami-rami po yung di-discuss natin, i-cover natin sa topic na to. So please make sure that you have your calculator ready with you and make sure na napanood nyo na muna yung video about chemical reactions. Kasi doon, tinuro ko doon kung paano mag-balance ng chemical equation. Kasi hindi nyo to masasagutan ng maayos kapag hindi kayo marunong mag-balance ng chemical equation. So let's begin our discussion with the conservation of mass. So pag sinabi natin conservation of mass, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung total mass ng reactants natin must be equal to the total mass of all the products. So kapag yan tinimbang natin, dapat parehas lang sila, okay, yung value niya. So there is no change in the total mass of the substances reacting in a balanced chemical equation. So parang parang ganito, kung halimbawa saing ka ng 1 kilong bigas, dapat yung bigas na maluluto mo na magiging kanin, dapat 1 kilo din. Okay, so ganun din yung sinasabi natin sa conservation of mass. So lahat ng masses ng reactants mo, after the chemical reaction, ganun din yung total mass ng iyong products. Okay, so for example, dito meron ako ritong chemical reaction. Okay, so sa reaction na to, I have here methane plus O2 gas. Kapag nagkaroon sila ng combustion, it produces carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water in gaseous state. So kung mapapansin natin dito, kung isilista natin lahat ng ating element dito sa ating reactant side, so meron tayong carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So katulad ng ginawa natin before, ang ginagawa ko muna dito is sinusulat ko muna yung elements and then nilalagyan ko siya ng, etong column na to is for your atomic masses. So for carbon, that's 12.01. For hydrogen, that's 1.01. And for oxygen, that's 16. And then i-multiply ko siya sa kung anong subscript meron tayo. So for instance dito, ang subscript ng carbon ay 1. So kaya ito naka-times 1 lang. And then sa hydrogen, ang subscript niya ay 4. Ibig sabihin meron tayong 4 atoms. So kaya ito naka-times 4. And then dun sa ating oxygen, meron tayo ditong 2 times 2. You have 4. Okay? And then pag minultiply natin ito at kinuha natin yung total mass niya, ito makukuha natin, 80.05. Now, if you notice, itong chemical equation na to, balanced to. Okay, balance kasi yung number, ito po yung number ng ating atoms, both on your reactant and the product side, is dapat parehas lang. Okay? So, hindi nyo ma-check kung tama na parehas yung mass ng reactants and products kung hindi balance ang ating equation. Okay? So, ganun din yung ginawa ko rito sa product side. So, kung check natin, so carbon natin dito is 1. Okay? And then, ang hydrogen natin dito is 2 times 2. Kaya meron ka rito 4. And then, for oxygen, dito meron kang 2. And then, 2 times 1 dito. Okay? So, meron kang 4. Yan. So, same lang siya. So, pag nagkaroon ka ng chemical reaction, again, dapat yung mass ng reactants mo is equal din dun sa mass ng products natin. Okay, so for example, ito nga yung pinakita ko nga kanina, yung combustion ng methane with oxygen na nagpo-produce ng carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Okay? Now, let's move on to the mole calculations in chemical reactions. Okay, so paano ba tayo mag-compute ng mga number of moles sa mga chemical reactions? So, kailangan ang una natin gagawin is alam natin yung chemical formula niya. Okay, at dapat balance yung chemical formula na yon. So, for example, dito sa chemical reaction na to na meron kang 2 moles of iron plus 3 moles of sulfur will produce 1 mole of iron sulfate. Okay, so for this case, kailangan muna natin, iron sulfide. So for this case, kailangan muna natin i-check kung balance ang ating equation. Okay? So, check natin. So, dito meron kang 2 moles of irons and then dito meron ka ring dalawa. And then for sulfur, meron ka dito tatlo. So, dapat sa products mo, meron ka ring tatlo. Okay, so balance naman siya. So, pag gumawa tayo ng mole relationships, para tayong gumagawa ng ratio. Okay, so katulad nito, yung 2 moles ng iron is proportional to 3 moles of sulfur. Okay, so parang gumagawa lang ako ng fraction na ito, ginawa ko rito yung 2 moles of iron ang ginawa ko numerator, and then yung 3 moles of sulfur ang ginawa ko denominator. In the same way, pwede ko rin naman pagbaligtarin yan. Pwede ko rin siyang isulat ng ganito. The 3 moles of sulfur is over 2 moles of iron. Okay, so parehas lang po yun. And then, dito naman, pwede rin naman nating gumawa, pwede rin tayong gumawa ng mole relationship between dun sa reactant and sa product natin. So, since dito wala tayong nakikitang number of moles, so automatically, yung ating coefficient dito ay 1. Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, you can relate the 2 moles of iron is over 1 mole of ferrous sulfide. Okay, so medyo nagkamali na ako dito. So let me just change this. This is Fe2. Yeah, so typo error. And then pwede in the same way, pwede rin natin siyang gawin ng ganito. So pwede nyo rin pagbaliktarin, 1 mole of ferrous sulfide over 2 moles of iron. And pwede rin natin siyang gawin sa sulfur. So yung 3 moles of sulfur is to 1 mole of ferrous sulfide. And pwede rin naman natin ito pagbaligtarin in such that you have 1 mole of ferrous sulfide over 3 moles of sulfur. Okay, so etong mga to, pwede natin itong gamitin pag nag-convert tayo mamaya. Okay, so kung matatandaan yung conversion of units, similar lang yung process na yon dito. Okay, so for example, in the chemical reaction of iron and sulfur, how many moles of sulfur are needed to react with 1.42 moles of iron? Okay. So the first thing that we need to do for this one is kailangan alam muna natin yung ating chemical formula. Okay, so check nyo muna yung chemical formula nyo kung balance. So kanina na-check na natin to. So mapapansin nyo, ayan, parehas yung number of atoms sa iron and number of atoms sa sulfur. Okay, so ang tinatanong sa atin is number of moles of sulfur for 1.42 moles of iron. So sisimulan ko muna siya by first writing ito yung number of moles ng iron natin kasi ito yung given. Okay, and then gagamitan natin to ng parang ratio. So katulad na pinakita ko kanina na ang i-relate natin ay itong iron at saka itong sulfur. Now, ano relationship nila? Pwede nating sabihin that for every 2 moles of iron, meron kang 3 moles of sulfur. But in this case, since ang gusto nating mawala ay yung moles of iron, para mawala to, kailangan yung 2 ilalagay natin dito sa baba. Okay, so yung 2 moles of iron nasa baba, and then yung 3 moles of sulfur ang nasa taas. So para ito, makakancel. Ayan. So may iwan na ngayon will be the number of moles of sulfur. So, para natin itong sinabi na 1.42 times 3 and then yung magiging sagot, multiply nyo. Pag yung magiging sagot niya, i-divide nyo siya sa 2. Kaya nakuha natin itong 2.13 moles of sulfur. Okay, so therefore, yung tamang sagot dito is 2.13 moles of sulfur. Okay, so di ba, ang dali lang niya. Okay, now another example. So, in the chemical reaction of iron and sulfur, how many moles of iron are needed to react with 2.75 moles of sulfur? Okay, so kanina, sulfur yung hinanap natin, ngayon naman iron. Okay, so same equation lang din yung pinagbasihan natin. So this time, we will find the number of moles of iron for 2.75 moles of sulfur. So gagawin muna natin ito, isusulat muna natin tong una na to. Okay, and then gagamit tayo ulit ng ratio. Ang nire-relate natin again is the iron and the sulfur. Okay? So, since ang given mo ay sulfur at gusto mo itong maalis, yung moles of sulfur, gusto mo itong ma-cancel, kaya dapat itong 3 moles of sulfur ang nandito sa baba. Siya yung nasa denominator. Okay? And then yung 2 moles of iron ang nasa taas. So, ang matitira ngayon dito is the moles of iron. So, pag minultiply natin to, gumamit tayo ng calculator, this is 2.75 times 2. Yung magiging sagot, i-divide natin siya sa 3. Okay? So now you have 1.83 moles of iron. Okay? So sobrang dali lang, di ba? Para lang tayong nagko-convert ng mga units using the factor label method. Okay, so let's have another example. So this time naman, in the chemical reaction of iron and sulfur, how many moles of iron sulfide is produced by the reaction of 0.758 moles of sulfur. Okay, so this time naman, meron tayong relationship between your iron sulfide and the sulfur. So itong dalawang to ang kailangan natin gawa ng relationship. Okay, so based dito, ibig sabihin, meron kang for 3 moles of sulfur, this one will produce 1 mole of ferrous sulfide or iron sulfide. Okay, so susulat muna natin ulit itong ating given, yung 0.758 moles of sulfur. And since gusto nating maalis yung moles of sulfur, ilalagay natin yung 3 moles of sulfur dito sa baba. So para ito ay makancel. So may iwan na lang is the moles of iron sulfide. Okay, so again, ito pag sinolve natin using our calculator, this is 0.758, so times 1. So wala namang mababago dun sa 1, diba? Kasi it will just give you the same number. And then yung sagot, i-divide natin siya sa 3. So for that, you will get 0.263 moles of iron sulfide. Okay? So madali lang, diba? So gumagawa ka lang ng fraction, but ang ginagawa natin is kung ano yung gusto mong makancel, yun ang ilalagay mo sa baba. Yung gusto mong ma-retain, yun ang nandun sa taas. Okay? Now, medyo gawin nating mas complicated, but this time we will now have mass calculations in mole reactions. Okay, so yung natutunan natin kanina for mole calculations, ile-level up lang natin siya kasi this time, maghahanap na tayo ng mass. Okay. So for example here, when acetylene burns in oxygen, high temperatures are produced that are used for welding metals. So you have this chemical reaction. And how many grams of carbon dioxide are produced when 54.6 grams of acetylene is burned? Okay, so balikan natin, no? So ang ating hinahanap dito is yung number of grams ng carbon dioxide na magagawa natin kapag meron kang 54.6 grams of acetylene. Okay, so nasan yung relationship dito? So from this chemical equation, so ito yung C2H2, ayan. So para mas makita nyo, bilugan nyo. Okay? And then nasan yung CO2? Ito yung CO2. Okay. So anong mole relationship niya? So we can have here 2:4, diba? So 2 moles ng acetylene is to 4 moles of carbon dioxide. Okay. But since ang meron tayo dito ay the number of grams, okay? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin makompute yung, kailangan muna nating makuha kung ilang grams meron sa 1 mole. Okay? Sa 1 mole of your acetylene. Okay, so for that, ang gagawin ko muna is, gagawa ko ng table na dito, kailangan ko makompute yung number of grams mo for 1 mole of acetylene. Okay, so for CH, you have here 12.01 times 2 kasi 2 yung ating subscript dito, so meron kang 2 atoms. And then for hydrogen, that's 1.01. Remember, itong mga numbers na to, kinukuha ko siya sa periodic table. Siya yung atomic mass. Okay, and then times 2 kasi yung subscript nito ay 2. Okay, now, imumultiply lang natin yan. So, makukuha natin dito is 24.02. And then, sa kabila naman, you have 2.02. So, pag inad natin, ito yung molar mass ng 1 mole of acetylene. So that is 26.04 grams. Okay? Now, this time naman, tingnan naman natin ilang grams meron sa 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So, the same manner, ililist down ko rin yan. So, for carbon, that's 12.01. Pero sa carbon dioxide kasi, carbon dioxide lang tayo ha. Hindi natin kailangan tingnan dito, okay, yung number dito sa labas. Okay? So, doon lang tayo. Kasi this one, ibig sabihin ito 2 moles. Ito ibig sabihin 4 moles. Ang kailangan lang natin ay for 1 mole. Okay? So, wag kayong malito doon. Kaya ito, kinoconsider na natin as C2H2. Dito naman ay CO2. Okay? So, this one is 12.01 and then yung ating oxygen is 16. So, times 2 kasi meron kang 2 atoms of oxygen sa carbon dioxide. Okay? Now, multiply natin. So, we have here 12.01 and then 16 times 2, you have 32. So, pag inad natin siya, meron kang 44.04 grams. Okay, so now, itong information na to gagamitin natin sa ating calculation. So, yung calculation natin medyo mahaba, Pero, i-incorporate lang natin yung ginawa natin kanina sa mole calculations. Okay. So, if you notice dito, ang una kong sinulat is the number of grams na given. Okay. Ito yung given mo sa acetylene. Okay, now, i-multiply ko ngayon siya dito sa ating molar mass ng acetylene. Kasi kumbaga, yung grams, i-convert ko siya sa mole. Okay, so parang ganun yung konsepto. Okay, so now, we know that for 1 mole of acetylene, we have 26.04. Ito yung na-compute natin, grams of acetylene. So, ano mangyari? Makakancel yung aking grams ng acetylene. Okay. Next. Now, this time naman, since meron ka ng number of moles ng acetylene, okay, so tingnan natin ano yung mole relationship ng acetylene sa carbon dioxide. So, ang relationship nila is that for 2 moles of acetylene, meron kang 4 moles of carbon dioxide. Now, since ang gusto nating maalis is yung acetylene, kaya yung 2 moles dito natin nilagay sa baba para ma-cancel siya. Okay? And then, yung ating 4 moles na iwan sa taas. Okay? The 4 moles for carbon dioxide. Okay? And then, finally, eto, ngayon, alam na natin yung number of moles ng carbon dioxide. Ang tinatanong kasi ay grams. Okay? Yan. So, kailangan natin gamitin ito, yung na-compute natin na for 1 mole of carbon dioxide, meron tayong 44.04 grams of carbon dioxide. So, yung number of moles, ilalagay ko dito sa baba para ma-cancel siya. So, matitira na lang ay 44.04 grams CO2 o yung grams CO2. Now, pag ito, kinalculate natin, magiging ganito siya. If you will use your calculator, this is 54.6 times 1 times 4 times 44.04. So, press yung equals. And then, ito, pag minultiply nyo yung 26, 2, and 1, actually kahit yung 1 hindi na. Make sure nakalagay ito sa open close parenthesis. Okay? So, para matama yung makuha yung sagot. Kasi pag mali yung input nyo sa calculator, mamamali rin po kayo na makukuhang sagot dito. Okay? So, or kung gusto niyo naman para mas komportable kayo, compute nyo muna yung pag minultiply nyo lahat ng nandito sa taas. Okay? Tsaka nyo siya, and then i-compute nyo muna lahat ng nandito sa baba pag minultiply nyo. And then, tsaka nyo ngayon siya i-divide. Okay, so for this one, na makukuha nating sagot is 184.7 grams of CO2, of carbon dioxide. All right, so let's have another example. The fuel heptane is designated as the 0 point in the octane rating of gasoline. So heptane is an undesirable compound in gasoline because it burns rapidly and causes engine knocking. So how many grams of oxygen are required to react with 22.5 grams of heptane? Okay, so ito po yung ating chemical formula. So from this looks, balance na po siya. Okay, so wala na tayong kailangan na galawin dito kasi balance equation na. Typically naman, yung mga given sa problems ay balance equation na. Okay, so ang pinapahanap po sa atin is the grams of O2. Ayan. Required to react with 22.5 grams of heptane. So, nasa po yung heptane dito? So, ito yung ating heptane. Okay? And then, yung ating O2 ay ito po. Ayan. So, mapapansin nyo ano yung mole relationship nila. We can say that for 1 mole of heptane, you have 11 moles of oxygen. Okay? But before we go to that, ang una natin gagawin muna is to calculate the molar mass. So, compute natin yung molar mass ng 1 mole of heptane at saka yung molar mass ng oxygen gas. Okay? So, pag sa heptane, ganito siya. So, CNH, again, katulad kanina, so this is 12.01. So this time naman, times 7 kasi yung subscript niya ay 7. And then sa hydrogen natin, that's 1.01 times 16 kasi yung subscript po rito ay 16. So pag yan, minultiply natin, na makukuha natin is 84.07, 16.16. So pag inad natin yan, that is 100.23 grams. Okay, so sabihin, ito po yung molar mass ng ating C7H16. Okay? Now, let's look at oxygen gas. So, sa oxygen gas naman, that's O2. So, O lang yan. So, that's 16 times 2 lang. Okay, so that gives you 32. So, this is for your O2 gas. Okay, so now that we have this, ito yung molar masses natin. Again, magsisimula tayo dito sa given, dun sa grams. So, ito pa pagkakasulat natin dyan. So, 22.5 grams of heptane times, okay, i-multiply mo siya dito sa ating conversion factor. So that for 1 mole of heptane, you have 100.23 grams of heptane. So lalagay natin yung 100.23 sa baba para makancel tong grams of heptane. So, matitira na lang ay mole. And then from here, i-multiply natin siya doon sa ating mole relationship. Now, for every 1 mole of heptane, you have 11 moles of oxygen. So again, isusulat ko rito yung 1 mole of heptane sa baba para ma-cancel ito. At ang matitira na lang sa taas is the moles of oxygen. Now, since ang kailangan natin ay hindi mole kundi grams, so this time naman, i-compute natin siya in terms of the grams. So, we know that for 1 mole of oxygen gas, meron kang 32 grams. Ito po yung na-compute natin. Okay? So, yung 1 mole, dito ko ilalagay siya sa baba para ma-cancel yung mole O2. Parang matitira na lang sa taas ay grams O2. So, again, if you will use your calculator, so ganito lang siya. Pag yung mga 1, kahit hindi nyo na siya isama, kasi obvious naman na 1, wala namang effect yan dun sa number pag minultiply nyo. So, this is 22.5 times 11 times 32 plus equals, and then yung magiging sagot, i-divide nyo siya sa 100.23. So, ang makukuha nyong sagot dyan is 79.02 grams of oxygen. Okay, so mapapapansin nyo, proseso lang siya, pero madali naman siyang sundan. Okay, so parating yung magiging basis will be your chemical equation. Okay, para makuha nyo yung mole relationships niya, and kailangan marunong kayong mag-compute ng molar masses. So yung molar masses naman is na-discuss na yun before. So napakadali lang yan. So usually, masasuggest ko sa inyo, gumawa kayo ng table like this, kasi para madali kayong makapag-compute at makapag-organize ng data. Okay, now this time let's do limiting reactants. Pag sinabi nating limiting reactants, the reactant that is completely used up is called the limiting reactant. So ibig sabihin nun, ito yung sa chemical reaction kasi, hindi naman lahat ng reactants is nauubos at the same time. Okay, so merong reactant dyan na mas mauuna siyang maubos. Okay, mas mauuna siyang magagamit sa iyong chemical reaction. Now, the reactant that does not completely react and is left over is called the excess reactant. Okay, so yung naiwan at hindi nagkaroon ng reaction dun sa ating chemical reaction, ang tawag natin doon is the excess reactant. Okay? So, for example, ganito. We have carbon monoxide and hydrogen are used to produce methanol, which is CH4O. So, the balanced chemical equation is CO plus 2H2 produces CH4O. Now, ang tanong is that if you have 3 moles of carbon monoxide and 5 moles of hydrogen gas are the initial reactants, what is the limiting reactant and how many moles of methanol are produced? Okay, so dalawa yung kailangan nating sagutin. Ano daw dyan yung limiting reactant at ilang moles ng methanol, okay, ang nagawa mula dun sa limiting reactant na yon. Okay, so for this, sulit muna natin yung given natin. So meron tayong 3 moles of carbon monoxide at saka 5 moles of hydrogen gas. Mapapansin nyo, pag may 2 na subscript, ang basa dyan is gas. Okay, so hydrogen gas. So ito yung ating chemical reaction. Okay, so ang gagawin muna natin dito is that, tingnan natin yung ating mole reactions, no? So we have here, since meron kang 3 moles of carbon monoxide, okay, ano ba yung mole relationship niya dito sa CH4? Okay, so ito po siya, di ba? Yan. So ibig sabihin, meron tayong 1:1 relationship. So for every 1 mole of carbon monoxide, nakakapag-produce ka ng 1 mole of, ano nga ulit yan, methanol. Ayan. So, in this case, ilalagay ko yung 1 mole of carbon dioxide dito sa baba, okay, para ma-cancel siya dito. I mean, carbon monoxide rather. So, matitira rito yung CH4O dun sa taas. Okay, so now, it's just like saying you have 3 times 1 divided by 1. So, wala namang effect yung 1 doon. So, therefore, kapag gumamit tayo ng 3 moles of carbon monoxide, makakapag-produce tayo ng 3 moles of methanol. Okay, so yun ang ibig sabihin niyan. Now, try natin siya naman sa 5 moles of oxygen gas. Okay, so kung babalik tayo dito, hydrogen gas. So kung babalik tayo dito sa ating equation, okay, ano yung kanilang mole relationship? So you can see here that for 2 moles of hydrogen gas, meron kang 1 mole of methanol. Okay, so gagamitin natin ulit yon. So for 5 moles of hydrogen gas, ilalagay ko yung 2 moles of hydrogen gas dito sa baba para makancel siya. And then sa taas, yung 1 mole of methanol. So as you can see here, meron tayong 5 times 1 divided by 2. So makukuha nating sagot ay 2.5 moles of methanol. Okay, now, paano mo masasabi kung alin dito yung limiting reactant? Okay, pag sinabi nating limiting reactant, siya po yung merong pinaka mas maliit na value. Okay? Dito po sa ating ginawang calculation. So dito, masasabi natin na yung for H2, ito yung ating limiting reactant. Kasi ito lang yung amount, ito yung lesser amount of methanol na mapoproduce natin out of the reaction. Okay, kung gagamit tayo ng 5 moles of hydrogen. Kasi pag naubos na yung 5 moles of hydrogen gas, ibig sabihin nun, hindi ka na makakapag-produce ng additional pa na methanol. Okay, so stop na yon. So this is the lowest number ng methanol. Ito na yung maximum number of methanol na magagamit mo. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung excess natin, ito yung carbon monoxide. This is the excess reactant. Okay, so yung susobra, yung kung ano man yung susobra na number of moles ng carbon monoxide doon, yun na yun, hindi na siya magre-react pa. Okay? So therefore, in this case, you have hydrogen gas is the limiting reactant. Okay, at nasagot na rin natin yung tanong na ilan yung mapoproduce natin na product after the reaction. So ito na siya, 2.4 2.5 moles of methanol. Okay? So let's have another example. When silicon dioxide or sand and carbon are heated, the products are silicon carbide and carbon monoxide. So silicon carbide is a ceramic material that tolerates extreme temperatures and is used as an abrasive and in the brake disc of cars. So how many grams of carbon monoxide are formed from 70 grams of silicon carbide and 50 grams of carbon. Okay, so paano natin to gagawin? Okay, so meron tayo ritong balanced chemical equation. Okay, so sulat muna natin yung given natin. So ang given po natin ay 70 grams of SiO2 and then 50 grams of carbon. So ito po yung ating chemical reaction. Ang tinatanong sa atin is ilang grams daw ng CO ang pwede nating ma-form sa 70 grams of SiO2 and 50 grams of carbon. Okay, so nasan yung CO natin? Ito po siya. Yan, sa equation. Okay? So dito lang tayo magfo-focus. Okay? So hindi natin papakialaman itong silicon carbide. Okay? So going back here, yan. So since grams po ito, ang first step na gagawin natin, mag-compute muna tayo ng number of grams o yung ating molar mass for 1 mole of each. Okay? So for this one, gagawin ko muna tong silicon dioxide. So I have Si here. Yung silicon is 28.09 and ang oxygen natin is 16. So ito times 2 ko siya kasi ito yung ating subscript. So I'll get 28.09 and 16. So pag inad natin yan, makukuha ko is 44.09 grams. So this is your molar mass for silicon dioxide. Now, in the same way naman doon sa carbon, wala tayong problema kasi nag-iisa lang naman siya. Okay, so that's 12.01 na. Okay, so this is for carbon. Okay. Now, next step ang gagawin po natin is to look at naman doon sa carbon monoxide. Okay, so sa carbon monoxide naman, you have 12.01 and 16. So when you add that, you'll get 28.01 grams. So ito po yung ating mga molar masses. Kasi kailangan to na nakahanda muna para mamaya dire-diretso na tayo sa pagsusulat ng ating equation. Okay, so from here, eto na po yon. So magsisimula muna tayo dito sa 70 grams of silicon dioxide. So ang 70 grams of silicon dioxide natin, i-multiply natin siya para yung ginawa natin kanina. That for 1 mole of silicon dioxide, you have 44.09 grams of silicon dioxide. So makakancel dito yung grams of silicon dioxide. So matitira na lang sa'yo ay yung mole. Okay. Now, ano ba yung molar relationship between silicon dioxide and carbon monoxide? So we have 1:2. So we know that for 1 mole of silicon dioxide, meron tayong 2 moles of carbon dioxide na pwedeng ma-produce. So isusulat ko rito yung 1 mole silicon dioxide dito sa baba para makancel siya dito. Yan. Now, meron na tayo nito is carbon monoxide. Okay, so sa carbon monoxide natin, balik tayo dun sa ating molar mass. So, i-multiply natin siya doon. So, yung 1 mole carbon monoxide, ilalagay ko dito sa baba para makancel siya. So, matitira is the gram of carbon monoxide. Okay, now, gagawin lang natin, multiply lang natin to lahat. So, 70 times 2 times 28.01. And then, i-divide nyo dun sa product ng, or in this case, kasi puro 1 lang naman to lahat. So, divide nyo na lang siya automatically by 44.09. So, makukuha po natin dyan is 88.9 grams of carbon monoxide. Now, we will repeat the same process pagdating sa carbon. So, carbon naman, ganun din. So, 50 grams of carbon. So, if you notice, ilagay ko rito yung 12.01 grams of carbon sa denominator based dun sa molar mass ng 1 mole of carbon. So, para ma-cancel yung grams, yan, grams of carbon. And then, again, I will go back to the molar relationship. Okay, ano po yung relationship ng monoxide, carbon monoxide and carbon? So, in this case, meron kang 3:2. So, for 3 moles of carbon, meron kang 2 moles of carbon monoxide. Okay, now, mapapansin nyo nilagay ko yung 3 moles sa baba para makancel yung mole of carbon. So, matitira na lang sa taas is the 2 moles of carbon monoxide. And then, balik ulit tayo, multiply ulit natin siya doon sa ating molar mass ng carbon monoxide, which is 28.01 grams. So, makakancel dito yung moles of carbon monoxide. Okay, so and then gagawin lang natin, multiply lang natin lahat. So, 50 times 2 times 28.01. And then, i-divide po natin siya doon sa 12.01 times 3. Kaya makukuha natin dito is 77.7. Now, paano natin malalaman ang limiting reactant? Again, tingnan nyo kung ano yung may pinakamababang value or may in this case, yung mas mababang value sa kanilang dalawa. So, ang mas mababang value is ito, yung sa carbon. Kasi makakapag-produce ka lang ng 77.7 grams of carbon monoxide. So, ito po ang ating limiting reactant. Okay, so kaya therefore, 77.7 grams of carbon monoxide will be produced. Okay? Okay, finally, we have the percent yield. Now, pag sinabi nating percent yield, ito yung percentage ng actual yield versus the theoretical yield. And then, ita-times natin siya sa 100%. Pag sinabi nating actual yield, ito yung mismong na-produce na mass or the number of moles ng product during the experiment or during the actual reaction. Pag sinabi nating theoretical yield, ito yung ini-expect natin na dapat makuha natin na number of moles or number of grams based dun sa computation natin, theoretically. Okay, so I'll show you how this one works. Okay, so for example, on a spacecraft, lithium hydroxide can be used to absorb exhaled carbon monoxide from breathing air to form LiHCO3. I think this is lithium carbonate. I'm just not sure. Okay, so you have here this chemical equation. So what is the percent yield of LiHCO3 for the reaction of 50 grams of lithium hydroxide? Of lithium hydroxide gives 72.8 grams of LiHCO3. Okay, so in this case, sulat ulit natin yung given natin. Okay, so ang given po natin is ito, yung lithium hydroxide, 50 grams. And you have 72.8 grams of LiHCO3. Now, based on our chemical equation, balance na po to. So, wala na po tayo dito kailangang baguhin. Compute muna natin yung molar mass ng bawat isa. So, for the first one, LiOH. So, that's ito, lahat naman siya ay 1 lang. Okay, so wala tayong problema dyan. Wala tayong kailangan multiply. So, i-add lang natin. So, you'll get 23.95 grams. And then for the next one, yung LiHCO3. So, yung oxygen lang ang nakamultiply sa 3 and then everything else is 1. So, pag in-add natin siya, itong makukuha natin. 67.96 grams. Okay, so now, ito na yung ating mga molar masses. So, babalik ngayon tayo sa ating equation. Okay, So, in this case, solve muna natin yung dun sa LiOH. Okay. So, similar dun sa ginawa natin kanina, okay? So, meron tayong 50 grams LiOH. I-divide natin siya dito sa 63.95 grams LiOH. So, again, ilagay ko to sa baba kasi para ma-cancel yung grams. So, matitira sa taas is the mole of LiOH. And then, punta ka sa molar relationship mo. For 1 mole of LiOH, you have ilan? So, sa pagdating sa LiHCO3, ito po siya. Okay, so meron kang 1:1 relationship. Okay? So, again, yung mole of LiOH na kalalagay natin dito sa denominator para ma-cancel siya dito. Okay? And then finally, natiran ka na ng mole of LiHCO3. So, kailangan nating malaman ilang percent, ilang yung grams na dapat ma-produce natin dito. Ito yung theoretical. Okay? So, ito yung theoretical niya. So, ginamit natin yung molar mass for LiHCO3. So, that's 67.96. Okay, so ito, makakancel na yung moles. So, pag ginompute natin to, this is 50 times 67.96 divided by 23.95. And we will get 142 grams LiHCO3. Ito ngayon, yung tinatawag natin na theoretical. Okay? Ito yung theoretical yield. Na kung theoretically, kung gumamit tayo, ito yung actual na ginamit natin 50 grams of lithium hydroxide. Ilan yung mapoproduce natin? So, sa computation natin, ang lumabas is 142 grams. Pero, based dito sa ating problem, ang sabi dyan, ito yung nag-give off niya. Ito yung actual na nagawa. That's 72.8 grams. Okay, so meaning, ito yung iyong actual yield. Okay? Now, balik tayo doon sa ating formula. So, sa formula natin, we have the actual yield versus the theoretical yield times 100. So, itong actual yield, i-divide lang natin siya yung 72.8 by 142 grams, which is your theoretical yield. Okay, so that's 72.8 divided by 142, tsaka natin siya ita-times sa 100. So, ang mapoproduce natin dyan ay 51.3%. So, yan na po yung ating percent yield. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, yung actual na nagawa natin dun sa reaction is 51.3%. Okay? Yeah, so with that, guys, medyo mahaba-haba po yung ating homework. So, this is already a combination of all the topics that we have discussed so far para dun sa tatlo. So, you'll have homework number 9. And the due date for this one is for Sunday, that's November 24. So, again, please make sure na makapagbasa po tayo ng on time. And mas maganda kung habang pinapanood nyo yung video, pasadahan nyo na rin yung homework. Okay, so para masabayan nyo siya kung paano siya masasolve. Okay, so with that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next lecture video.